Hello, and welcome to week 1 of the REL 9 and 10A recap for season 9. There's a lot of stuff to say all in like one sentence there, okay? Um, I am Caspaloo,
And I'm Dwiggy.
and we are your Team Foul approved recap team. So I think we can just dive right in unless we have something that we need to say at the beginning. I don't recall saying anything like that in my list just now. Um,
No, I think we should go ahead and dive right into the games, I guess.
okay then. Uh, Season 9. I already said that. Division 9. I already said that too, but it's helpful to establish what division we're looking at first.
Exactly.
Um, the first game is an admin game. Victory going to Mr. Science Ghost 3000. I do not know what is up with the Knights of Windry. They may just have been late in accepting their ticket. They may have talked to the admins about it, or I just don't know. They are a second season team, so they probably just didn't completely vanish on us without explanation. Usually that doesn't happen so much for returning teams. Um. Okay, so let's move on to the first match that was played. Frosting and Filling versus the Charlestown Chiefs.
I'm gonna let's reconnect because I can't hear you.
Really? Oh, well, that's no good. Okay, let's just technical difficulties, folks. How about now?
All right, I am back.
Excellent. Also, professionalism.
Okay.
So, Frosting and Filling versus the Charlestown Chiefs.
All right, so it looks like Frosting and Filling won this one 2-1. Possession 43% to 12. So I'm not sure if it was the Lizards just couldn't pick up the ball or if it was a blitz or what, but it didn't. You can't score touchdowns if you don't have the ball in your hand.
That is true. The Lizards did outblock the Norse. It also, although they certainly did not out injure the Norse. Let's see. I actually wrote down what that kill was. It was a dead plus movement skink.
Plus movement sidestep. So it's a one-turn threat. He did get a touchdown.
It was a one-turn threat.
Yeah, it was a one-turn threat. But he did get a touchdown on the source, which is cool. So I'm not sure exactly how that happened. But I do see 4 of his casualties, and I'm assuming he appoed 1 because it said he had 5, suffered 5. We're all on skinks, so by the end of the game, he only had 1 skink left. So that's definitely going to be an issue.
Yeah, for sure. And he does have a dead skink, so presumably he appoed something before that skink died. Let's see. And the North actually made a pass as well. Tons of SPP for Frosting and Filling.
Yeah.
Not that much for the Lizard. Yeah, it just looks like Norse out murdered lizards. That's what this looks like.
Yeah, the problem with Lizardman team is you can't really lose players. Like, it's okay to lose 1 or 2 skinks, but you can't lose all of them. And
you can't really afford to lose Source either.
Yeah, and his he lost his plus agi skink, he lost his sure hand skink, and his plus movement skink. I'm assuming early. I feel like that had to have been something that happened early. He ended up getting a surf as well. So it was just an all around out bashing.
Okay. Yeah, let's move on to the next game.
Right.
I agree. I think that's a good summary.
Yeah.
Okay. Royal Ton Circus versus Duran's Dastardly Dudes. And the Kislev team beat the Dwarves 3-0.
Now that's surprising to me. Not super surprising because I know that Kislev are technically the faster team, but it's weird to see a Kislev team do that well against Dwarves this early in team development. He got a touchdown on 2 of his catchers and then 1 of his linemen, 1 of his plus agi linemen. So I mean, being able to leap with 6 players on your team on 2+ to reposition them and rescreen, that's definitely going to help you a lot. So,
something I did not check is this Dwarf team does have an expulsion in this match. Do they have a death roller?
They do not. So they do have 12 players though.
So they were fouling with Longbeards then.
Most likely. They had a badly hurt on their Troll Slayer and a miss next game on their tackle runner. No injuries on the Kislev side. So, I mean, it's just, it seems like it's one of those games where everything went right for the Frogmen and everything went wrong for the Shortmen.
Oh, you know what? One of those casualties on the Dwarves was I'm going to say foul. But, it might have been like I don't think the Dwarves were dodging. It was probably a foul. Unless there was a surf.
Do not see one in the list.
Okay, yeah, it was probably a foul then.
Yeah. Or a failed dodge, maybe. I don't know.
It probably was a failed dodge.
Or a failed GFI. That's
that could be it, yeah.
Never trust in Dwarf GFIs.
Anyway, now, if you thought the 3-0 was fun, our next game, Sugar and Spite versus the CR Boys Giant Stags, 1-5.
All right, so CR Boys has the most disgusting elf team I think I've ever seen, and he even came into this game with 5 loners, and put a whooping down. Minus movement on his guard lineman, which that's unfortunate for Sugar and Spite, but 5. It's tough as Dark Elves to deal with strip ball if you don't have short hands. That's something that I've struggled with myself. So I'm assuming what happened is the War Dancer came in, punched the ball free, and then one of his many Agi 5 players came in and got it.
And then that happened 3 more times after that.
Yeah. The Agi 5, Movement 9, Wrestle Catcher got 3 touchdowns in the game. He got 1 on his catcher.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Sorry. 2 more times after that. Because the Wood Elves probably 2-turned, I'm guessing. On 2 separate occasions themselves.
He even scored a touchdown on a loner lineman, which is crazy. In an MVP.
But not the loner who got MVP.
No. I wonder if he bought one of those guys. I'm going to go check that real quick. I would have if I could have afforded it.
There were 8 successful passes in this game between the 2 teams.
8 passes, wow.
Yeah, Sugar and Spite made 3, and the Wood Elves made 5.
Well, that's SPP somewhere.
Tons of blocks for an elf game, actually, as well.
I've actually noticed that when elves, they play a lot bastier because they feel safer because they're like, oh, the other team can't really
or at
hit
least
me as well.
Or at least Dark Elves.
Yeah. And so they feel braver.
There is something to be said for that, I think. But
he did end up buying the loner that got the MVP. So Drill is a lineman to watch.
Oh wow. I'm just looking at the SPP in this game. From this game.
It's crazy.
The Seer Boys got 25 SPP, 10 on 1 player.
Yeah, passing 3 touchdowns.
The losing team got 17.
Yeah, I mean, if nothing else, got good development.
Yeah, and that's 17 with only 1 touchdown as well. I guess it helps if you throw if you make 3 passes. Okay.
Yeah.
Finally, we have the mammals of unusual size versus the Fat Earthers.
Yeah, so this is typical ogres on Amazon game. I like to see that the history of Little Bits losing one line woman a game to death is still happening because he lost Natastopoulos. I can't pronounce that word.
Which word? I had to go.
Natastalops.
Oh. You know what? It's deliberately misspelled, so don't even try.
Fair enough. So
we figured this one out.
yeah, so if anybody here hasn't played Little Bits yet, you're guaranteed at least one line woman kill in your game. 'Cause
yeah.
that's just what happens.
Yeah, that's true. Every single game, a line woman dies, and it's never like an important player who dies, but there's a player who dies every single game.
Exactly. But it's hats off to the Fat Earthers. But when you're playing a team that has no tackle and against a team that has all dodge, it's gonna be tough.
This was actually a rematch from last season, and I'm pretty sure last season the Amazons won, or
yeah,
they won this season as well.
Yeah.
Go figure, right? I don't remember how much they won by last season. I guess it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Okay. That is that team. Let's look at game rather. Let's look at some teams.
All right.
I don't have anything picked out. So.
I would say, well, I think a lot of what we did last week is still going to be true.
Yeah.
And I do know that we looked at some of the teams after they had already played their games and taken their level ups. So let's just go with I don't know. I'm gonna pick the Kislev because they won 3-0 against Swords.
That I believe they've only played this game yesterday as well.
Yeah.
Certainly after we did our recording.
Yep. So what's new on here that I recognize? We have a guard on Two-Tooth Tommy because I'm pretty sure he didn't have that before. So that's new. Which I like. I like going for guard first on a blitzer on Kislev teams, mainly because it's 2 dice. I have a cage dive now. So
I'm pretty sure one of those Agi linemen leveled up as well, and he just took block again.
Yeah.
I'm not sure which one it was, but I'm certain one of those was level 2 before.
Fair. Okay. I think he got the dirty players new too, which I also like. I am a huge fan of fouling. But I don't know if I would want to do a whole lot of it with Kislev because I play them like an Agi team, and a team that comes with no skills is a team that dies pretty quickly when it comes to block and dodge. So, and then they're already getting kind of bloaty to begin with. So Cream Puff Bender, hopefully he does some work while he stays with us. Hopefully he kills some of those ridiculous elves. Actually,
well, there are 5 blockers on this team and 1 wrestler. Only 2 dodgers, though.
He's got 2 wrestlers, so there's one to catch at the top.
Oh yeah, he does too.
Lime at the bottom.
This team is actually has a lot of good. It has a lot of base skills.
Yep. That's the issue with Kislev though, because nobody starts with block and dodge, just like a chaos team. So they start to bloat pretty quick once you just give them the basics. But once they get up there in TV, they really shine because most of your players don't really have a level where they stop losing value when they get a level.
I've compared Kislev to Skaven before, and I still think that's a good comparison. The only real difference, like if I had to do the most basic comparison possible, I would say Kislev are what you get when you want a Skaven team that has players who are expensive.
Yeah.
Because the players are all great, if fragile, but also they're a little bit more pricey to replace than a gutter runner.
Yeah, and at least you get AV8 on most of your players, so that's nice.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, and they're easier to reposition than gutters that don't have two heads, because you can just leap over things instead of having
Mm-hmm.
to dodge around them and then run around.
Mm-hmm.
So
But yeah, it's a super mobile kind of agi team. Well, this one's definitely an agi team. Look at it.
yeah,
Uh, but usually a kind of agi team, which is not elves.
yep.
Which is great. We need more agility teams who are not elves.
I personally am a believer that the catchers on this team should be strength 3, but
That would increase their cost even more, though.
yeah, maybe not.
And they have, and with dive and catch, they still they catch an accurate catch on a 2+ anyway.
That is true.
Actually, better than 2+. You know what? No, yeah, they don't need strength 2 or strength 3. If anything, I think they should have movement 8. Actually,
Yeah, okay, I could do that. But I don't. I'm not a huge the catchers are necessary, but I think that they should be just a little bit better for their price and what they start with. But that's neither here nor there.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Let's see. Still no stadium. I understand that it's probably not going to happen too soon because like you need your money for players. But I would like to see getting the stadium at some point. Like, what's good for Kislev? Well, a wizard. Actually, genuinely, I think a wizard stadium. This is probably one of the best teams to take a wizard stadium.
Could be. Also, I would think Weather Dome would work out pretty well for them. Just because most of your team is Agi 3 anyway. So if a catcher can't get to the ball, it's tough when one of your linemen has to pick up on a 4+.
I don't think that's an issue on this team.
Yeah, you got 2 Agi 4 linemen.
There are 6 Agi 4 players on this team.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, though, like, still, a Weather Dome is never a terrible choice. I would like to see the Wizard. I think that would be amazing, but probably not going to happen.
Yeah.
And I guess there's only 3 Blitzers, so we might see the 4th Blitzer pretty soon.
I would wait to get the 4th Blitzer until you have at least gotten 1 level on Goomy Eater Gill.
That's
because
fair.
It's hard to level up both of them, especially when both of them are unprotected with either block or dodge.
Yeah, that's fair.
And if you lose one, that's a lot of money.
It would be his 12th player, though, so I think he could get away with it. I mean, he can't afford a rookie blitzer right now anyway. He would have to wait until his next game.
Yeah.
Okay. I look forward to seeing how this team performs, because especially after this opening, I think they can do cool. And especially with this team, I think they can do quite well.
Yeah.
Because, closing thoughts here. I think Kislev usually can get pretty bloated pretty quickly, but this one doesn't feel too bloated to me.
Yeah, and they got almost everybody on his team already has block or wrestle, at least the people that you're going to be making blocks with. So it already makes them a lot safer.
Yeah.
I personally start with 4 rerolls, so it's weird to see that there's only 3 on this one, but I leap a lot. But at this point, yeah, you could probably get away with only 3.
Okay. Yeah. And I wonder if he used to have 4, actually. I don't remember. Anyway, let's look at a different team. Who is someone that... I'm just trying to remember who played early last week.
I think this division was done pretty quickly. So
like 2 or 3 two of the games played early last week. Like really early.
Yeah.
For the one we just looked at was played late. The other one was played like around the weekend. Sometime on the weekend, I think. I know what I want to look at.
Okay.
See our boys, Giant Stags.
All right.
This team is stupid.
Still stupid, yes. Filet has a niggle though, so you should get to killing, boys.
Kill this player. It'll make everyone's life so much better. In fact, someone in this division should bounty this player.
So that's what I'm thinking too. I don't remember the plus strength lineman last time we looked at it either, but I might be mistaken. There's a lot of stat boosts on this team, so
I mean, he got so much SPP in his last game. It's at 17, so I would believe it if it is leveled up last game.
yeah, that is a disgusting, disgusting team, and we got dwarves in this division, right? You dwarves need to take one for the team and punch the hell out of some elves.
Just murder them, especially this one and this one and this one and maybe the tree if you're looking for targets.
That tree, I feel like, is pretty safe because I don't think there's a lot of claw in this division.
Like, induce a chainsaw.
Chainsaws
Use
are
it on the tree.
trees. But I mean, yeah, other than the Yeti on frosting and filling, and I believe we saw that Negative Pro did not have any claw on his team yet. That means that tree is pretty safe for the season.
No, Negative Pro didn't have much in the way of damage skills on his team. You're right.
Yeah. So, it's a chainsaw might be the only way that this thing goes out this season.
Yeah, and based on how the team looks, but also based on the performance of the first game, I think this is a good contender here for the playoffs. Although this is like so early to say that.
Yeah.
I'm allowed to make look. I'm recapping. I can make all the baseless accusations I want.
Actually, you should. It's your right as a person.
Not only is it my right, it's my responsibility as a recapper.
I believe I picked these guys last week anyway for the baseless championship, so I'm sticking with it.
I don't recall who I picked, but I know it was not them. This team is just wow, though. Okay, let's look at.
But even though I picked them, I still want you to murder them.
Yes, do it. Make them earn it. Okay, so let's look at a couple matches from next week. Okay, well, I think like the two good matches to look at are probably the two teams that we looked at. Those both look like interesting matches, actually.
Yeah, so we got Mammals of Unusual Size and CR Boys Giant Stags.
Unusual.
Unusual Size. Mammals of Unusual Size. So this one's interesting. I don't think the throwers on Amazon team start with sure hands, and I don't know if he has sure hands on his team. But I don't think CR Boys has any tackle.
Throwers do have sure hands.
Oh. So this one actually could be a tough one for CR Boys. He's gonna have to play a little bit outside the box. Because I'm pretty sure we looked at it and he didn't have any tackle on there. I'm just gonna double check real quick. And that is correct. He has no tackle. He's got a block tree, one wrestle player, strength 2 wrestle player going up against nothing but strength 3 line women.
Block doesn't really matter against this Amazon team.
Block works well on dodge players if they don't have block themselves. It's statistically the exact same as tackle because
but against this Amazon team, it doesn't help much.
That's true. So, yeah. This one actually will be interesting to watch.
Let's see though. I think I still have to give the advantage to the elves because I think they'll have a much easier time scoring. The elves might have a hard time stripping the ball from the Amazons, but also the Amazons will have a very hard time actually stopping the elves.
I agree, but I also think I'm going to give this one to Little Bits, mainly because he is going to have something like, you add another 210 to his TV, it's going to be like 400 something in inducements. So that's going to get you a wizard, maybe a chainsaw, maybe who knows what else. And
Helmet. You could hire Helmet and a wizard, or you could hire. I'm trying to remember what her name is.
Zara?
I was not thinking of Zara. I was thinking of the ogre.
Morgenthor?
No, the other ogre.
Oh, I don't know the other ogre.
I don't remember her name at all, but the Amazonian ogre. That's a funny thought, but probably not. You'll probably go for the wizard and the chainsaw. Okay. Yeah, so we are not in agreement then. I think
Yeah.
it'll be the Wood Elves who win that game, but we'll see.
I think it'll be close, but yeah, there's an argument for the Amazons to come away with that one.
It could be a close game, but I think the advantage is Wood Elves.
All right.
And the other game, the Royalton Circus versus the Charlestown Chiefs.
This one, I'm gonna go with. It can go either way.
I'm drawing a blank. The Chiefs are a human team?
Lizardman team.
Lizardmen. I should have known that. I
And
didn't, but I should have.
They have some really, really nice skinks. They got a Surehand skink, and they have a plus agi block skink, I believe, with sidestep as well. So it can go pretty much either way. Charlestown Chiefs is going to have to do the opposite of what he did last week and coddle his skinks. And I mean really coddle them. Make sure that they do not get any kind of bad touch.
Yeah, I was wondering actually, do the Royaltons have tackle in any players?
I don't think they do.
Okay, well they have a lot of blocks, so they still have a decent chance of taking down a skink if they get access to one.
Yeah,
but they don't have
two
any
wrestle as well.
But they don't have any skink killers.
No, they have no mighty blow. They have no tackle. All they have is 2 wrestle in that field. They do have 1 guard. I don't know how much that 1 guard's going to help you in a game against Strength 4 Saurus.
I mean, I think the guard is more for setting up. Yeah.
On a skink.
Exactly. Stealing, setting up hits on the ball carrier.
Yeah. So
with Kislev, that's probably a 3+, 2+ to do.
Yeah, and it's going to be pretty even on TV, so there's not going to be much in the way of inducements. So I'm going to... Oh, he does not have a block skink, so all of the skinks are vulnerable this game.
I'm feeling pretty even on that. This game, as long as the Chiefs don't have all their skinks die again, or get removed anyway.
Yeah, it's going to come down to armor and KO rolls on the skinks.
Because I think the skinks will definitely be taking some hits. Against Kislev, it's pretty much a certainty. But
yeah,
but there's definitely ability to control how many hits they take, and how good those hits are,
and which skinks are getting hit.
Yeah, that too. So yeah, assuming that the skinks are managed well, I think this could be anyone's game.
Yeah, it's a toss-up for me too. I think at this point, I would if I have to choose, I'm gonna choose the Circus just because they have so many block agi, essential agi 4 or 5 players on leap to be able to hit a skink every turn, and as long as they get an average number of armor dice rolls on the skinks and just at least KO them for the drive, I think they'll be fine.
I mean, the thing is also both of these teams have super easy 2-turn plays.
It could be a high scorer.
I don't think it will be, because usually that's not how these teams go, but it could happen.
Yep.
That might be a fun game to watch, actually. I'm not gonna pick one team for the winner. Okay. I think that finishes up with Div 9.
All right.
Let's move on to... I've gone too far. That one, 10A. 13 out of 14. I actually know what happened with this team. I'll talk about it when we get to it. Oh, hey, actually, one of these games hasn't been played yet.
Yeah, I think I'm not sure what's going on there.
Well, we'll just ignore them.
Yeah.
Okay, game 1, Serpent Lords versus Honest to Gob.
And this is
I think I think you can figure out which team I'm interested in talking about later on.
Oh yeah, everybody knows Chaos Subaru loves a Stunty team, especially a Goblin team. And your Goblins did some work in this game.
Yeah.
Caused, well, it says they only caused 2 casualties, but the Serpent Lords took 6. There was 1 Surf, so it's probably that, and 3 expulsions, so probably fouls and chainsaws.
I feel like there's some biased reporting here.
I'm not exactly sure what happened to all these players, but
well, they just disappeared. I actually didn't check if any of them were injured or killed.
We have a Niggle was given to a lineman, which will probably be retired if he can afford it. Took a badly hurt on his kicker, a missed next game on his Heroes PIP lineman. That's not a big deal. His Witch and his Mighty Blow Blitzer got badly hurt, so unfortunately that's not going to spell success for your team either. When all you have left on the field is 1, 2, 3, 4 linemen and a Blitzer against almost an entire Goblin team, including a block troll, you're going to have a bad time.
But yeah, it looks to me like one of 2 things happened here. Either the Dark Elves took a bunch of hits or a bunch of removals early in the game. Apparently he finished with only 3 players left on the pitch. That's terrific.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so well,
at least it was a tie.
Interception sustained.
Yep. So the chainsaw actually got an interception.
MVP. You know what? You earned that MVP. Did it get anything good? What did it get? No, it didn't.
The only thing you want on a loony is dirty player anyway. Maybe block.
Usually dirty player. Yeah, it is the best thing for a loony. So I think. Okay, I'm pretty sure that a lot of players got removed here pretty early on for the elves. But in addition to that, I suspect that also well, no, they have 28 blocks, so they probably were not playing too passively against the goblins. Yeah, I think they just got removed to the point where they couldn't score.
Yeah, that looks about right. I don't know who started first, but if you're playing against goblins, you want to receive the ball.
I think it was probably
so you can remove.
I think it was probably goblins first.
Yeah, that would make sense. If you get good injury and removal dice early, it's just gonna snowball.
That plus also, yeah, looks like he did start with the ball. That plus also, if goblins get a lot of kills in the first half, that doesn't necessarily mean they can score in the first half. But if they get a lot of kills in the first half, then they can usually score in the second.
Yep. But it looks like neither of them. The ball was on the ground for the most part. It was 37% possession to 6% possession. So I don't know if it was a scrum or what, but or maybe the goblins just didn't care about the ball and wanted to put the boot in.
Could be.
All right.
Okay, next game. Bambino's Rebellion
versus the Jonestown Journeyman.
Yep. And it is 2-0 for the Rats.
Rats only taking 1 casualty, which is crazy.
I mean, they were playing against elves.
That is true. But yeah, no Mighty Blow
they
elves
killed
either.
2 elves. I don't have this one written down either. This game happened pretty late.
Both of those elf deaths were journeymen, so nothing important. They did their job.
At least I think this one happened late. Yeah, no, it happened late. I remember I wrote it into my notes literally earlier today. So, okay. Right there. I actually wrote it down wrong. Whatever. My notes don't matter. This game matters. There were 3 passes in this game. 2 elves got killed, but like I said, they were journeymen. There also 2 more were injured and 4 more were KO'd. So yeah, like the Rats much like the goblins we were just looking at, those rats were very successful in hurting elves.
Yeah, and the problem though is with rats, they're much easier at getting the ball and scoring than goblins are.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Gutter runners are OP.
Yeah, he got ended up getting 6 SPP on a rookie blitzer, Lil Cheese. So be interesting to see what he got with a casualty, a touchdown, and a completion. One of the passers came from a storm vermin.
Huh. I mean, if it's at 5 out of 6, why not, right?
Exactly.
That's interesting. And also really hits home just that the rats clearly had control of the pitch. Otherwise, there's no way you're scoring on a storm vermin.
Yeah, it was 68% ball possession
Mm-hmm.
to 31. It's going to be tough to deal with that. 4 serfs as well. I'm assuming they came from the Rat Ogre.
Wow. Oh yeah, they have a Rat Ogre, don't they? I forgot about
Yeah.
that. Usually those things steal SPP from the blitzers. Clearly not in this case.
But one of the casualties did come from the Rat Ogre, the Shaka. But yeah, I don't really know what else to say about this game.
Just like roll doubles, then you can give it extra arms, and then it will truly be the best ball carrier you've ever had.
The Rat Ogre?
Yeah.
An extra arm? Oh, fair.
Genuinely, that's not a good idea, but I want to see you do it anyway. It's just great.
All right.
I think even Sure Hands is better than extra arms actually. I guess it depends how you're picking up the ball. Extra arms is more classy, though. Anyway, next game. Elves Behaving Badly versus Sugar and Spikes. By the way, we have 2 names that are Sugar and Blank in 2 different divisions. So if I get them mixed up, I apologize now.
Don't apologize. Blame them. It's your fault for making your name so similar.
Really, it would be this team that is to blame, since the other one is a returning team.
Well, how's he supposed to know? He didn't go look at every team name, so. But I still blame.
Why not?
Both. I blame both of you, and you too, Chaos Blue. I'm gonna blame everyone here right now. But onto the game.
So, there was a dead elf in this game.
Just a loner.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing but dead loner elves. That's. If you're going to take a death, might as well be nobody you care about. And
it was a draw. There were a lot of draws in this division.
Yeah. This one actually seems like a more even draw than the other ones we looked at. 50% ball possession for both sides. Ended up 1-1. There were a lot more armor breaks for the orcs than there were the elves, 12-2.
Which is to be expected.
But only 3 removals out of that. So, actually, yeah, just 3. 2 KOs and a casualty and a kill. Unless kills and casualties are counted differently.
Huh. They shouldn't be? You know, whatever. I have long since given up on trying to understand how the hell Blood Bowl 2 categorizes different statistics.
Yeah. But there were no removals at all on the orcs.
You know what, though? There was a clear star player here. And it was the star player. This thrower got 9 SPP this game. Oh.
MVP, a pass, and a touchdown.
And a very interesting level up as well.
Ooh. Was it plus strength?
It was not plus strength.
Was it plus agi?
It wasn't that either. That would have probably been more useful, to be honest.
It's a jump off.
You know what?
I'm assuming
I showed it on stream, but we can just look at the team. And no, I am looking at the Goblins. You can look at this team for your pick if you want.
I'll pick.
But first, we have one more game to look at, and it is with a REBBL Yell versus Common Nightmares, which is a 0-0 draw.
More draws. So
Undead versus Necro.
I thought they were both undead.
Well, this is a mummy, and this is a flesh golem, so they are definitely not the same.
Okay, yeah, Common Nightmares. They are the Necro team. My bad.
I might have written it down wrong in my notes.
Yeah, you're right. So with the Rebel Yell is the Undead team the Undead team, and Common Nightmares is the Necro team. We got a leveled up Flesh Golem, which is nice. Drowning. One of the werewolves got a casualty, so that's good, getting some SPP there.
No death in this game, but there was an interception.
There was no really development at all from the Undead. All they got was the MVP on the money.
Wait a second. With Rebel Yell made 0 passes, how does Common Nightmares have an interception?
I think it only counts completions, not passes.
But it has 2 columns. One is passes and one is successful catches.
It's completions. I'm not sure which thing you're looking at because I can't see your screen.
Okay. In Blood Bowl 2, it has one row that is passes. And then it has another row which is successful catches. So passes should be every time you pass the ball, regardless of whether or not you catch it. But clearly it is not.
Gotcha. Yeah. That's perplexing.
That is frustrating to me. Strictly speaking, anytime you do a handoff, that's all should also be a successful catch. But let's not go into that. Okay. It is a catch action. Yeah. So that Flesh Golem. Okay, my headcanon is that the Flesh Golem made the interception, which might even be true.
It did.
Okay, I love it. Just got blocked. I was hoping it was like a double for catch. Like, it would have been so stupid, but it would have been perfect. Okay. Right. Okay, so those are the games. Let's look at some teams. I am looking at Honest to Gob. The most honest Goblin team in the league.
All right. So we got a 3 reroll, 1 apothecary Goblin team. I don't know if I would go with the apothecary this early.
I actually think this is a bloated Goblin team.
Yeah. And then
I think it should not have the Apo, and I think it should not have a Pogor. It also does not have a stadium enhancement, so no Nuffle's Altar.
Yeah, you should try and get Nuffle's Altar as soon as possible. But so far, it's got block on the troll. The Fanatic has at least a level, so he's got Mighty Blow.
Mm-hmm.
You might want to. You could probably give him like another level or 2 before you probably decide to recycle him. But
oh no, you don't recycle Fanatics.
Never. Not even if you don't get blocked.
Fanatics are fine even if they don't get doubles. Although they're so much better if they do have doubles. Yeah. But a Mighty Blow grab. Stand firm. I guess if you hit level 4 and you still don't have any doubles, then you might want to think about it. But your first 3 level ups on a Fanatic are still good, even if you're only getting strength skills.
Yeah.
You guard, not stand firm. You take guard. Yeah.
Looney took dodge. I would probably recycle him if he doesn't get doubles on the next one. I don't know what else you could give him. Maybe sidestep, but at that point, do you still really want to try and level him up a 3rd time before not getting dirty player?
Dodge helps with his survivability, but honestly,
that's true.
Here's the thing: dodge is kind of worthless on secret weapon players because secret weapon cancels out stunty, or cancels out the good part of stunty where you can ignore tackle zones when dodging.
Yeah.
So dodge is not... Stunty dodging is not so great on secret weapons. So I would honestly go with sidestep on a normal Looney. The reason being is I don't care if he gets killed. It just saves me the trouble of recycling him. But with sidestep, then if he, by some miracle, stays standing after taking a hit, he can go closer to... He can potentially move into a position where he can counter Chainsaw.
Yep.
Jump up is not good on chainsaws because they almost always break their own armor.
Yeah.
Talking to the chat there.
Yeah, it's they will If you'll be lucky if it's a stun. Anything else, he's off for the game.
This guy breaks armor. If this guy gets hit onto the ground, it breaks armor on a 5+, 4+ with Mighty Blow.
Yeah. Honestly, I would, get rid of the Pogo, I would think, and then you'd be down to 970. Get you some good inducements.
I mean,
I don't know how you would get lower than that.
At this point, I feel like you may as well. Now that you have the Pogo, you may as well keep it. I don't think it should have been bought in the first place, but it's already been bought. That ship has sailed. I actually don't even hate the Apo now because there is a block troll.
Yeah.
There is only one player on this team I would use an Apo on, and it is this troll.
And then you might not even have to because he's got regen as well.
Yeah, well, Apo comes first.
Oh, gotcha.
But yeah, so like the Apple's not the worst. Like it's not like this team is bad. Pogors are okay. Apo is okay. It's just I think it's too early in development generally for Goblin team, and I do think it hurts to not have the state enhancement. If there's one thing you need to do, in fact, it is rush to get the Knuckles Altar, because you can just in the worst case scenario, you are getting 2 extra secret weapons for 30k. With Knuckles Altar.
Is that Fez and
that's Dribble
the
Snot
bomb thrower
and Fez, yeah.
Yeah.
Or Fungus.
Fungus.
It is. Whereas the next secret weapon is the chainsaw, which is 130 or 80 with 80 with the altar, which is still pretty affordable, but. And I mean, like, ideally, you want to be inducing Ripper, but you can't always induce Ripper, especially with higher TV like this. High by Goblin standards, anyway. But yeah, like, almost... There are very few cases where you cannot induce at least Dribble Snot. And that's still an extra player. Anyway. Enough of that. What team do you want to look at?
I'm intrigued to see this orc that everybody's talking about. So let's go to Greenskin Brawlers.
Okay, let's see that one.
Was that the?
No,
was
that's the wrong orc team.
Oh, what's the orc team?
Well, no, there are 2 orc teams. I think that was the right one. I clicked on the wrong orc team.
Sugar and Spikes. That was the one we wanted because you said he got an interesting level. Oh, he got Dodge.
You're right. It was Sugar and Spice. Yeah, he got Dodge.
I don't hate it for your primary ball carrier. That's it's a pretty good level for the first go.
Yeah, I mean, blodge on an orc thrower is okay. I would ideally it would be like Sure Hands, or not Sure Hands.
Accurate. The only other thing I would take on doubles, I get.
Is what you take on doubles. Accurate is a normal.
Yeah, but strong arm by itself isn't that great. But strong arm with accurate is great. But you're not really passing as a primary thing anyway. I would be using the thrower as your ball carrier and then handing off in a safe space.
I mean, let's be real. This thrower is going to roll plus strength on his next level up. It's just what happens. But
if he's plus strength dodge, that's fantastic. And with block, he's unstoppable.
Yeah, 4 strength blodge ball carrier is pretty good, even if it is a little bit on the slow side.
And then he's going to get plus movement right after that, and it's going to be great.
Yeah, that could happen. Orc throwers are just like... The REBBL League is a league that is determined to make orc throwers not bad. And like I say that, I don't even think they're that bad. I think people overstate how bad they are.
They're a weak link in an AV9
like
chain.
One AV8 player is not that big a deal for orcs.
It's really
orcs have better armor than dwarves. Think about it that way. A dwarf team has 4 players who are AV8. An orc team usually has 1 at most.
Or a goblin would make 2.
Goblins are sort of a special case. And it's not like you take a rostered goblin you take a regular goblin anyway. If you have a goblin, it's sitting on the bench. It's only going to ever see the pitch if you're attempting a 1-turn or if your other players are getting removed.
Yeah. And I mean, to most orc players, even when they do have a thrower, they have a bench so that the thrower isn't on the field on defense.
Yeah, I mean, like, orcs are pretty cheap. You can easily afford to put a 12th player on the team if you want.
Yep. So
Um, in terms of development, I like what he's been doing with the Blitzers, which have been soaking up most of the SVP, which is good. The
yeah,
Black Orcs could use more development. If you're really ahead in a game, try and score a touchdown with a Black Orc.
yeah,
Uh,
definitely. At this earliest stage, I would be trying to get the Black Orc levels probably before the Blitzer ones, just so they can be more reliable. You won't burn through rerolls. Get quick getting some guard in there,
mhm.
and then just be off to the races. Because a Blitzer was already movement 6 with block is the fastest and most reliable player in your team anyway. They're going to level.
Mhm.
So when you
Yeah.
get a chance, try and get those touchdowns on those Black
Mhm.
Orcs.
Exactly. Uh, other than that, though, I mean, like, it's a low TV orc team, so like it's solid. It's okay. There's not really too much else to say.
Yeah.
Um, I would actually like to see wrestle on the linemen. Well, maybe not these linemen. Like, I mean, your next lineman level up has to be dirty player. Let's be real. Um,
Yeah.
but I
I'm
do.
not.
I
I'm
like
not. Sh-
I like
I'm not really.
wrestle on orc lineman because it's the natural wrestler on the team. That is, every other player is a player who is almost strictly better with block. But having a little bit of wrestle on your team is really helpful for a few different reasons. Like, you don't need a lot, but a little bit is really good.
Yeah, I don't really think orcs have to have a wrestler. Because I look at Papa Nasty's team and he doesn't have one, but his team also has 4 legends.
Mm-hmm.
But lineman, like you're still gonna be putting that wrestle lineman on the line of scrimmage. So if he gets hurt, it's not a huge deal.
Mm-hmm.
Most of your blitzers are gonna have tackle anyway, and they're your movement player, your high movement player. So you're most likely blitzing with
Mm-hmm.
them if you have to chase someone down.
Mm-hmm.
So you can do that if you. I really don't think wrestle is something that has to be in the like the early development.
I mean, you're right. It's not something you need, but it's nice to have. And
Yep.
yep, it's not that we forgot. It is that we deliberately skipped over the standings because it's week 1 and they are currently meaningless. Uh, pretty much. Yeah. Although there is one thing I do want to mention that I said I would earlier, and that is this team right here, Lee's Rebels, which is currently MIA. I talked to the admins about this one. I totally forgot to do it for 9, but I talked to them about this team, and it is likely that this team is going to be replaced with a team from the what do they call it?
Ramp up.
Ramp Up. I think they wanted the name to be Ramp Up really badly. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, this team is probably going to be replaced with a Ramp Up team because the coach of this team, maybe they have just become unavailable suddenly, but they have not communicated that they were unavailable as of this weekend when I talked to the admins. So either they will be joining shortly or they will be replaced shortly. So yeah, that was the admin team. Let's look at a couple games, or let's look at a couple games for next week.
All right.
And don't look. Let's also not look at Hierarchy or Banner Boys because we don't know where the hell they went. We don't know why they didn't play their game. Maybe they just couldn't schedule it. It was a busy weekend for a lot of people.
Calculators is the one you're talking. Calculators and Bounder Boys. Hierarchy is playing the admin team.
Calculators and Banner Boys. You're right. Yeah.
I don't even know who Hierarchy is. Hierarchy is the Plutonium team. Oh yeah, the pyramid team. That's a fun team.
I actually want to talk about the team, but they haven't played their game, so I can't. Okay,
Yeah.
so of course I'm going to want to look at Honest to God versus Jonestown Journeyman.
That'll be a fun one. 87 for Goblins is always fun. So hopefully they'll be. There's no tackle right now on the elves that I remember. So with only 2 block players, it could be a bit of a struggle for the elves.
The goblins did pretty well against elves last time, and these elves have less armor.
Yeah. So as long as the dice go in the goblins' favor and they don't, have some unfortunate double skulls or 1 and 9s on dodges, they should be able to keep up.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing that I could say that could go into the elves' favor at this point is if they do kick it, or get the ball, if they win the toss and choose to receive, they have a good chance of getting rid of a lot of the dirty secret weapons early with all those movement 8 players.
Let's see. I just want to check something here. Oh, actually, no. The journeymen are also dark elves. My mistake.
No, they're pro elves.
Oh wait, they are pro elves. They have purple armor, so I thought they were dark elves.
Yeah.
Whoops. Okay. It looks like the goblins are gonna be 10k short of having 3 bribes, so they'll probably have 3 bribes.
Yeah, with the journeyman. He's gonna have 1 journeyman, so it'll be 1190 to 1050.
Yeah, that's correct.
So probably just 2 bribes.
I feel like this is gonna be another draw. Actually, I want to call the draw.
Okay. I think that's fair. I'm gonna give it to the elves just because stunty is stunty. That's what they do. So.
Can you really say that after watching Ravenpool all of last season?
Yeah, and I watched Scambammer's game last week too, but.
Oh yeah, it was amazing.
But it happens. So I'm gonna bank on that happening this time.
Okay, still, it's a draw. That's basically a win for goblins. So what game do you like?
I want to see. Well, we can't talk about them.
Nope, there are like 3 games that I've banned you from. Sorry.
So, Hornstars 2018 versus Elves behaving badly. It'd be interesting to see how these Chaos deal with Elves. They have no tackle, only 1 block piece. Granted, the Elves aren't super developed either, but typically early.
I think the elves have more block though.
Yeah, they definitely do. They've only got they start with 4. We only had 3, so he went the 3 route. So they're gonna have 1 more block player. They do have the plus strength witch elf to help counter the strength 4 beastman that he has and the strength 4 chaos warriors. 2 dodge players. With no tackle, it's gonna be hard for them to take him down. It could. This one is gonna go to who rolls if the Chaos roll more skulls and both downs, or the elves roll more 1s. It's going to come down to one of those 2 things. What's going to happen first? The rolling of the 1s of the elves for agi moves, or the rolling of the 1 and 9s for the Chaos?
Given the development... Oh, no, sorry.
I'm going to go ahead and give it to the elves on my baseless look at both teams.
Yeah, given the development, I think their advantage is to the elves as well. The simple reason being that while both of these teams are going to probably be pretty effective at stalling out the other, the elves are going to be able to do that, or are going to be harder to stall out. Like, they're faster. Dark elves aren't really that much faster. They're slightly faster. But they can do dodgy bullshit. They can do elf bullshit, though, so...
Yep.
Like... Both of these teams are probably going to be able to effectively stall out the other team if they play well, but the elves are going to be more able to take advantage of weakness in their opponent's positioning, because that's sort of what elves do.
Yeah.
And
So
and a rookie chaos team just isn't going to be able to compensate for small mistakes like that. And like everyone makes small mistakes.
yeah, I think it's definitely gonna come down to who needs to use rerolls first, because both teams can go through them pretty crazily, and the elves with such little in the way of natural reroll skills and only having 2 team rerolls, it could get pretty messy.
Mm-hmm.
So it all depends on if they can keep from rolling ones.
Mm-hmm. That's fair. Okay, I think we are just about done. Do you have any final words?
Uh, no, except for everyone have fun and play your games and murder CR Boys' elf team and go Scamvammer and go Little Bits and go everybody else that I picked to win this week because I want to be right.
And don't forget to actually post in the scheduling thread on Reddit because, like, if you don't, even if you're around, if you don't play your game and you did not post in that thread, then you will not get a win or a draw even from from a admin win. If you cannot play your game and your opponent posted in the scheduling thread and you did not, they will get an admin win.
Yeah. You just have to put some sort of notification there that says that you can't do it, and this is why.
That's all it takes.
Yeah, and then they'll be like, okay, draw.
Okay. And on that note, I believe we're done.
Yep.
Okay, well, I hope you all enjoyed. I hope it was informative for all of you, and I hope you all worship goblins. Until next time, this has been Chaos Blue.
This has been Twiggy.
And have a good night, actually. This is probably mostly a REL audience, so I'm going to assume you're watching it in the evening.
Unless you're watching the YouTube replay and you're watching it in the morning, then I want to say watch it live next time.
Yeah, do that. Bye.
Bye.